Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. 27 points, 5 rebounds. Welcome to Pelicans Flock Report, where I give you everything New Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. I'm your host, D. Broussard. And first things first, man, like always, before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, the all-new Pelicans Flock Report. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed, man. I really appreciate y'all. And as long as y'all keep subscribing, I'm going to keep bringing y'all this content. Now, the Pelicans made no moves during the draft. Did the Pelicans get it right? Did the Pelicans get it right? No moves for the Pelicans. I know a lot of people were watching the draft to see if the Pelicans were going to make a move during the draft, but it did not happen. And I thought about dropping a video on yesterday, but I said, man, I'm gonna just wait. I want to watch the entire draft. That's just something that I do. Like I told you guys in the last episode, I'm a real hoop head, man. So I watched the entire draft. I always did since a kid. So I just wanted to watch the entire draft, man, and just analyze everything and watch a lot of these guys get picked and see, what teams are doing what, going into the next NBA season. That was just something that I like to do, but the Pels made no moves in the NBA draft. Now, obviously, I personally was kind of paying attention to the Atlanta Hawks, like I spoke about in the last video. Of course, it was reported that the Hawks and the Pelicans had talks about a potential Trey Murphy trade. The only reason I could say that I really paid attention was because I know that the Hawks and Pelicans have had history of making deals with one another. So I kind of want to pay attention and see if that was a true report. But like I always say, guys, I'm not really big on reports and rumors. And this is the reason why, because you see all these reports and rumors, and then, you get excited or get on edge, and then it doesn't happen, and then it creates disappointment. So it's like, I really don't pay attention to that type of stuff, man. Now, once I kind of saw that the Hawks decided to go with a guard with the 8th pick, I kind of knew then that the Pelicans move wasn't going to happen because I knew that the Pels weren't going to trade Trey Murphy for a pick below the 10th pick. I just didn't see them doing that. So I knew that wasn't going to happen. But overall, the Pelicans did make their only selection in the NBA draft, and they drafted Jaron Pierre Jr., a hometown kid, St. Augustine product. Jaron is 6'5", 210 pounds. He's from SMU, in which he averaged 17.6 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. Now, I honestly wasn't expecting the Pelicans to draft a guard with their only pick. I was kind of expecting them to maybe draft a center, being that we need size, we need rebounding and rim protection. I thought they may have drafted a center. But also, man, I'm not mad at this pick. I had some time to check out Jaron Pierre and, check his game out, man, and see what type of player he is. And I'm going to be honest, man, the kid has a lot of game, and he definitely has a lot of potential, in my opinion. He's a scorer, so, he can shoot the ball really well. So I feel like that's definitely going to add some shooting to the roster. He's very athletic. He gets downhill, high jumper, jump above the rim, play above the rim. So I'm not mad at this pick, man. I'm really not, man. And I think this kid has a lot of potential to possibly be a really good NBA player, man. Just my opinion. I'm definitely looking forward to summer league, so I can see him in action and see what he can do, man. So congratulations to him, hometown kid, playing for the hometown team, man. So um, congratulations to him. Now, also, the Pelicans signed Melvin Consul Jr. as an undrafted free agent. Now, Melvin Consul Jr. Played his college ball at Kansas. He's a 6'4" guard, 180 pounds. He averaged 12.7 points per game, uh, 5.0 rebounds, and 5.1 assists at Kansas. Now, I think Melvin was signed to play on the summer league team. I'm not sure if he was signed to the actual roster, but I'm thinking, he may have been signed to the summer league squad. So that's another pickup for us. Melvin was an undrafted free agent, and also we signed another undrafted free agent, and Chris Bell. Now Chris Bell was signed to a 10-day contract. Chris played his college ball at the University of Syracuse, in which he averaged. I'm not exactly sure what he averaged, but I know that he's a 6'7" wing, 185 pounds, and they signed him to a 10-day contract. I'm assuming they just maybe want to check him out and see what he can do. And, we may see him play on the Summer League roster as well. So that's another undrafted free agent that the Pelicans decided to bring in, Chris Bell from Syracuse. And I'm looking forward to seeing what these young guys have, man. I'm definitely gonna be watching Summer League, in which I do every year. Um, as I say, man, I'm a real hoop head, man. That's all I watch on TV mainly is basketball. So I'm definitely gonna be watching the Summer League, man. Um, Now, lastly, did the Pelicans get it right? Did the Pelicans get this right? Now, obviously, no trades. A lot of people were thinking that Trey Murphy was probably going to be traded on draft night. It did not happen. Herb Jones did not happen, and ultimately, um, I kind of had to go back. I was thinking, and I kind of had to go back to that Joe Dumars press conference at the end of the season, in which I watched, and I remember him saying that he felt ultimately that this team wasn't far fetched, in which we all know that that means that he feels like this current roster that we have right now isn't far fetched from being a contender. So I took that as Joe likes what we have right now currently. And I feel like he may feel like, you know, we need to make some changes, of course, add a few pieces. But what we have right now, I think that he feels really good about what we have right now. And of course, bringing in a new coach with Jamal Mosley, a defensive minded coach at that, I think that's definitely going to make a difference. And also, like I always say, coaching and systems really matter. You can have a lot of talent, but if you don't have a good coach or, a good system, it's just not going to work out. So I definitely feel like with that comment that Joe Dumars made during that press conference, I feel like he feels like this team is not far fetched. That's how he feel. And so, did the Pelicans get it right? I definitely think they did. I definitely think they did. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of looking for them to maybe trade up into the first round and grab a center, like I spoke about uh, a day more. He was a guy I was high on. If we were to trade into the first round, but um, I felt like the Pelicans definitely played it smart. I felt like they got it right. They definitely held on to their assets. Um, they weren't in a rush to trade away anybody. I think they were looking for the right deal before they decided to make any moves. And I feel like that's smart as an organization. You hold on to your assets until you find the right deal, that works for you. And it goes back to kind of what I said in a previous video in which I spoke about Trey Murphy. And I said that if you're going to trade a guy like Trey Murphy, you have to get something back of high value in return for a guy like Trey Murphy, because I ultimately feel like at some point Trey Murphy is gonna be a star, or if not a superstar in the league at some point, possibly an all-star. I really feel like Trey Murphy should have been an all-star last season. I really did. So if you're gonna trade a guy like that, you have to get something back of value in return for a guy like Trey Murphy, man. And I just felt like the front office just didn't feel like, you know, they was or I would say a deal that was worth them giving up that asset, whether it was Herb Jones or Trey Murphy. So, um, but I definitely feel like the Pelicans did get it right. I felt like it was very smart of them to hold on to their assets, and see what else is out there, man. Obviously, we still need rim protection. We still need rebounding and size. So I'm not sure what the Pelicans are gonna do as far as finding a center. I'm not sure if they have somebody in mind on the free agent market, or if they have somebody in mind as an undrafted free agent, or possibly a trade that can bring back a center. You know, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they decide to do. But they definitely got it right. So I definitely got to salute and tip my hat off to Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver, man, for you know um playing it safe and trying to find, I would say, the right move to make, if any. So that's just my opinion, man. But ultimately, I'll be tuned in to Summer League, of course. Like I said, I definitely want to see what the young guys are gonna do. Still gonna be following the Pelicans and seeing what they do as far as making any trades. Um, as far as what are they gonna do about getting a center? I definitely feel like we need a center, man. We got to get another center. I like Eve a whole lot, and I feel like Eve is definitely going to develop to become a really good player at some point. But I still think we need another guy, you know, um, that can rebound consistently and protect the paint consistently. So we'll see what the Pelicans are going to do. But yeah, man, that's it for me. Like always, man, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, man. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed, man. I really appreciate y'all. As long as y'all keep subscribing, I'm gonna keep dropping this content. I'm your host, D Broussard. Until next time, man. Go Pels. Drop some comments below, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. Did the Pelicans get it right during the NBA draft? Do we need to keep this roster and see what happens with a new coach like Jamal Mosley? Or do we need to make some changes, man? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Pelicans Flock Report. I'm out.